Hello strange people, welcome back to the channel. I wasn't going to make a film today, but just going to make a little short one really. The big fella here needed a walk, and this is only 10 minutes from my house, so it'd be rude not to come up, wouldn't it? Amanda's not around today. She's had to go and visit her mother for birthday celebrations, so it's just me and the big fella. We're just out for a bimbo. So what we do is go up and visit the pond in the Col between Stapletor and Coxtor. Go and visit the Bronze Age farm, I suppose really it is here, and then maybe go down the valley, down this little valley, go and visit the little Bronze Age village over there, and the Great Western Reef. So I'll bring you back in a mo. So I don't know if you can make out the path on the GoPro in front, but it leads to that village. You can just about probably make out on the GoPro. It's called the Quarryman's Path, and it's not one of the oldest routes on Dartmoor. It's probably been here around 150 years, 200 years maybe, and it's the old, as the name implies, Quarryman's Path to Fogintor Quarry, Sweltor Quarry, and latterly Merivale Quarry. It's where the old quarrymen would walk every morning to work and every evening back home from work. I mean, it's a beautiful commute, but it's not one that I'd want to do on a winter's morning with the rain or the snow lashing down on you. A little bit further on, it's actually got almost like paving slabs, a bit like, not quite the same, but similar to the sort of thing you see in Derbyshire and places like that on the paths. What are you up to? Dragging me around. Right, onward up the hill. It was a bit of a dicey moment. There are the cows here, and they go all the way up the hill. Got one or two sort of what look like yearling bullocks among them, but they looked a bit interested in patch, which is never a good thing. We managed to get through. Always wise with cows to keep at least, what's a good measurement? A lorry's length, a bus maybe, length between you and the cow. More so if they've got calves, because they can be a little bit boisterous, shall we say. Bring you back in a mo. So here's the blocks I was mentioning on the quarryman's path, and they run up through there. Then we'll have to do it sometime. It's only about 4 miles, but still quite an interesting walk from the village to the quarry, especially Merivale for me, because as I've mentioned before, that's where my grandfather finished his quarrying career and retired after many years as a quarryman. So we're just coming up to a little Bronze Age farmstead now. I'm convinced this one's a farmstead because it's a long way from any decent sort of tinning stream, although I have noticed somebody's been tinning up there, so I could be wrong. So here we are, the first of the houses. If memory serves, there are 5 here. You can just about make out another 2 over there. We're actually going to be heading down the hill now. These holes, pretty sure, are where granite's been dug out of the ground, taken away to be quarried. There's a few here. I mean, I can understand them quarrying them, but you'd think they'd fill the holes back in. But I suppose it leaves a bit of archaeology around for the later generations to see. Makes you wonder where those stones are now. Who knows? So we've just come down the bank where all those stones were, and we've discovered this little cutting. Now I have no idea how old this is. Could be Bronze Age, could be later, could be no more than 50 years old. But it's obviously been worked for some reason. You know, I must have been up here 1,000 times and I've never noticed that before. I usually walk along the ridge up the top, and then if I'm going up the tours, I'll go up the col between the 2 tours just because I'm lazy. So that's actually quite interesting. I wonder if it was Bronze Age, whether, because obviously we got the valley here, so there may have been a stream running through here at some point. Who knows? So we've got that pond at the top, and I have no idea whether that's man-made or whether it's actually older. Sorry, whether it's actually natural older than man-made. Wake up. Sorry, I'm so busy. The clouds are absolutely gorgeous this evening. Starting to get a red tint. I don't know if it's showing up on the GoPro. We are running out of light, obviously. Catch you in a mo. In case anyone asks in the comments, I'm pretty sure this is natural. It's washed away by the water. If you look here where I'm standing, although it's covered with grass, it is still rocky, the rocks are showing through, and obviously you've got the more clitters up the hill there. Whereas this, of course, isn't natural. It runs all the way up the hill and on for another 4 or 5 miles. It's the Great Western Reeve. It's another one of those ones that I really need to walk at some point. Starts way over the other side of that tour, and it's just a Bronze Age wall that runs for, well, I mean, officially it says it runs for 6.5 miles, but if you look closely it seems to run a lot further than that. Yeah, right, I don't think we're going to get to the Bronze Age village now, so not before dark anyway. So I think what we'll do, Patch, is we'll go down and sit under that tree and have a brew. What do you think, mate? It's the trouble with Patch, I'm not sure he ever thinks. Something I meant to mention, I bet you can barely see me now. Something I meant to mention the other day when we went to the Stone Row. If any of you had watched, and I know not many of you did, because it wasn't a very well watched film, but if anyone watched the film on the Battle of Hinxton Down, where that Stone Row is over on Hinxton Hill is one of the 3 places where that has been suggested to be the battle site. As I've said, I really don't believe so. You're not going to get a bunch of raiding, marauding Vikings to go out into the middle of nowhere and do battle. They had no reason to go there. They had towns they could have raided, villages they could have raided. So to actually be out on the open moor doesn't seem logical. As I said before, I think the logical place is over on the northeastern side of the moor, and we will go there. But it's getting very dark now. It's time for me and Barky McBarkface to get off the moor. So with that, I'll say catch you on the next one. What do you say? It's one of the few moments he's actually shut up in the last 10 minutes. Right, catch you on the next one. Oh, it's really dark, but I think I've answered my own question. Running water coming out, it's literally coming out just there, but I can imagine in the Bronze Age, up the valley here, it might have been running on the surface.